Dear soul, listen carefully. God says the truth about your soulmate is coming out. You did not find this message by accident. Something has been hidden. Something has been delayed. Something in your heart has been waiting for clarity. Not just love, not just signs. Truth. The kind of truth that settles the soul. The kind of truth that breaks confusion. The kind of truth that finally explains why your love story has felt deep, yet unfinished. Take a moment and listen carefully. Because this may be the season when what was covered begins to come into light. This may be the season when God helps you understand why certain doors opened, why certain doors closed, and why your heart kept feeling that there was more going on than what you could see. You who are listening right now, maybe you have carried a silent question for a long time. Why did some connections feel important, yet never become secure? Why did your heart sense something real, yet peace never fully arrived? Why did love seem close enough to awaken hope, but not close enough to remove uncertainty? Faithful heart, sometimes the deepest pain is not only the waiting. Sometimes the deepest pain is the lack of understanding inside the waiting. That is why this message matters. Because when God says the truth about your soulmate is coming out, it means the season of confusion will not last forever. It means hidden things can be revealed. It means what felt tangled can become clear. It means your story is not empty. It means your journey has not been ignored. If this message resonates with your heart, comment, Amen, I believe. Like this video if you appreciate faith-based encouragement. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can continue receiving uplifting spiritual content. And if this word touches your heart, you may support through super thanks if you feel led to do so. This is completely voluntary. There is no pressure, no expectation, no obligation of any kind. It is not connected in any way to receiving things, grace or miracles. It is simply a kind expression of support if that is on your heart. Dear soul, many chosen ones are not only waiting for love, they are waiting for truth. They are waiting for the fog to lift. They are waiting for the hidden meaning behind delay, behind silence, behind unfinished emotions to finally make sense. That kind of waiting can exhaust the heart. You can survive pain more easily than confusion. You can survive tears more easily than mixed signals. You can survive a closed door more easily than an open door that never fully becomes a path. And maybe that has been your story. Not complete loss, not full clarity, just a painful in-between. A place where your heart felt something, yet your life could not hold it securely. A place where a connection stirred deep emotions, yet left behind questions that time did not answer quickly. But hear this gently. The delay of truth does not mean the absence of truth. Sometimes God allows time to uncover what emotion could never reveal in one moment. Sometimes He lets a season stretch, not to punish you, but to separate illusion from reality. Because not every strong feeling is a true foundation. Not every person who awakens your heart is meant to remain in your future. Not every connection that feels intense is healthy enough to carry peace. God sees the quiet prayers of your heart. He sees the prayers you spoke in words. He also sees the prayers you spoke in silence. The ones hidden in tears, the ones hidden in lonely nights, the ones hidden behind a strong face. He sees the question that kept rising. What is the truth behind all of this? Why did it feel so powerful, yet so unclear? Why did it touch my spirit, yet leave my life unsettled? Dear soul, one of the first truths God often reveals is this. Some things felt meaningful because they were teaching you, not because they were meant to stay. That does not make your feelings false. It does not make your hope foolish. It means your heart was sincere, but the full meaning of the season was deeper than romance alone. Some people enter to expose a wound. Some enter to reveal a pattern. Some enter to show you what you still call love, when it is actually longing, fear, or emotional hunger. That revelation can hurt, but it is still mercy. Because once truth starts coming out, confusion begins to lose its power. There was likely a time when you accepted less than your soul truly needed, not because you were weak, but because you were hopeful. You wanted something real so badly that even fragments looked meaningful. Even delayed effort felt precious. Even uncertainty felt spiritual, simply because your heart wanted a promise to be hiding inside the pain. But your soul has been changing quietly, deeply, through experiences you never would have chosen, yet still needed. You have been learning that real love does not survive on guessing. Real love does not keep you trapped in emotional survival. Real love does not ask you to betray your peace in order to keep believing in it. That lesson is part of the truth coming out, because God often reveals the wrong thing before he reveals the right thing fully. He lets masks fall. He lets inconsistency expose itself. He lets patterns repeat until your spirit no longer mistakes them for mystery. This is not cruelty. This is protection. It is better for confusion to break now than for it to become your future. Sometimes love arrives after the soul has grown stronger. That is one of the deepest truths many hearts understand only later. In one season, you may have wanted someone to rescue you from loneliness. In another, you may have wanted someone to confirm your worth. In another, you may have wanted someone to prove that your waiting had not been empty. But God does not only answer desire, he also prepares the vessel that will carry the answer. He strengthens discernment. He heals what pain weakened. He teaches you the difference between craving and covenant. He teaches you that being chosen by the wrong person is not a blessing. He teaches you that delay can protect what haste would have damaged. Faithful heart. That is why the waiting season is not empty. It is not forgotten time. It is the place where your roots grow deeper. It is the place where your heart becomes wiser. It is the place where your standards become clearer. It is the place where your spirit becomes less willing to settle for what only looks beautiful from far away. Stay with this message. The next reflection may touch the part of your story that has remained hardest to explain. Sometimes, the truth begins to surface, not through one loud sign, but through the quiet way your heart starts recognizing what no longer fits. Dear soul, there is another side to this title. While God is working in you, he may also be working in the one meant for you. This matters more than many people realize, because a soulmate connection isn't just about desire. It is not just about timing on a calendar. It is also about readiness. It is about emotional maturity. It is about healing. It is about whether two people can meet in truth instead of meeting too early and hurting each other through unfinished pain. God often prepares two people separately, quietly, thoroughly, in places no one else sees. While one person is learning not to chase confusion, the other may be learning how to stop hiding from depth. While one person is learning self-worth, the other may be confronting fear, pride, or emotional distance. While one person is being taught patience, the other may be learning responsibility. This is why divine timing is careful. If people meet too early, they may mishandle what was sacred. They may confuse chaos for passion. They may wound what was meant to grow in peace. So the delay is not always denial. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes it is mercy. Sometimes it is God refusing to let meaningful love be destroyed by immaturity. You may have been guided here today for a reason. Maybe the reason is that your soul needed this reminder. The truth about your soulmate is not only that someone may be coming, it is also that your story has been under the eye of God this whole time. He has seen what you could not see. He has known what you could not know. He has protected you from things that looked right, but were not right for your peace. He has allowed certain chapters to end because they were revealing what your future should never be built on. He has let certain silences stretch because your heart needed to grow beyond old patterns before it could recognize the right kind of love. Nothing in your story is wasted. Not the closed doors, not the lonely seasons, not the disappointments. Even now, the hidden is being sorted. The unclear is being exposed. The truth is coming out little by little in the way you think, in the way you heal, in the way you stop settling, and in the way your spirit begins to desire something cleaner, calmer, and more real than what once held your attention. Dear soul, the truth about your soulmate does not always come out through one dramatic moment. Sometimes it comes out through what starts making sense. Sometimes it comes out through what loses power over your heart. Sometimes it comes out through the quiet realization that God was protecting you, even when you thought He was delaying you. There were seasons when you looked at certain endings and felt wounded. You looked at certain silences and felt forgotten. You looked at certain people and wondered why they awakened so much emotion, yet brought so little peace. But slowly another understanding begins to rise. What looked beautiful was not always safe. What felt deep was not always true. What held your attention was not always meant to hold your future. That is why truth matters so much. Because truth does not only reveal who belongs, it also reveals what never truly did. You who are listening right now, there is a reason some chapters had to remain unfinished. If they had continued, they may have damaged something tender in you. If they had fully opened, they may have led you deeper into confusion. If they had become permanent, they may have trained your heart to call instability normal. God sees more than the moment. He sees the fruit. He sees where a path leads. He sees what a person is carrying behind the version of themselves they show you. And because He sees clearly, He sometimes closes a door before your feelings are ready to let it go. That kind of mercy can hurt at first. It can feel sharp, it can feel unfair, but later, when truth starts coming out, you understand something important. A closed door is not always a rejection. Sometimes it is a rescue. Sometimes it is God refusing to let your future be built on a foundation that could not carry peace. Dear soul, this is why healing matters so deeply in a soulmate journey. Without healing, the heart can cling to what wounds it. Without healing, the soul can mistake inconsistency for mystery. Without healing, a person can keep chasing what keeps stepping back and call it faith. But God does not want your love story to be driven by fear, exhaustion, and emotional guessing. He wants truth in it. He wants peace in it. He wants the kind of connection that does not require you to lose yourself just to remain in it. So while you were waiting, He was teaching you. Quietly, patiently, deeply. He was teaching you how to stop romanticizing confusion. He was teaching you how to notice the cost of always being the one who understands, the one who overgives, the one who carries the emotional weight of a connection alone. He was teaching you that love should not always feel like survival. That lesson is part of the revealing. It is part of the truth coming out. There was likely a time when your heart would have accepted less than it deserves. Not because you were weak, but because you were hopeful. You wanted something real so badly that even fragments looked meaningful. Even half clarity felt like a promise. Even delayed effort felt valuable. But your soul has been changing. You have been learning that real love is not measured by how intensely someone pulls at your emotions. It is measured by how truthfully they show up. Real love does not keep you trapped in overthinking. Real love does not keep you praying for basic consistency. Real love does not make you feel chosen one day, then invisible the next. God sees the quiet prayers of your heart. He sees the places where disappointment matured you. He sees the places where pain made you wiser. He sees the places where your standards stopped being driven by loneliness and started being shaped by peace. That change is sacred. That change is one of the clearest signs that hidden truth is already rising within you. Stay with this message, faithful heart. Next. The next reflection may uncover why certain delays were necessary and why the truth about your soulmate could only come out after your spirit learned to recognize what love should never cost. Sometimes the waiting season is painful because it strips away false ideas. It removes fantasies that once felt comforting. It exposes the difference between what you wanted and what was actually healthy for you. That is not easy. It can feel like losing a version of the future you had already imagined. It can feel like grieving something that never fully became real. But even that grief can serve a purpose. It can clear the ground. It can empty the spaces where illusion once sat. It can make room for a deeper kind of love. One built not on projection, but on truth. Sometimes, love arrives after the soul has grown stronger. Strong enough to stop chasing uncertain people. Strong enough to stop calling delayed clarity a romantic mystery. Strong enough to stop giving sacred energy to connections that only return confusion. Strong enough to wait without collapsing. Strong enough to hope without idolizing. Strong enough to let God define the path instead of trying to force meaning onto every emotional spark. Dear soul, there is also another truth hidden inside this title. The truth about your soulmate is coming out not only because your heart is becoming clearer, but because God may also be working in the life of the one meant for you. While you have been healing, they may have been healing too. While you have been learning discernment, they may have been learning honesty. While you have been letting go of old pain, they may have been confronting the wounds that once made them emotionally unavailable. This is why divine timing is never shallow. It is not only about meeting. It is about meeting in the right season. It is about meeting when both lives can carry truth without running from it. It is about meeting when both hearts have learned enough to honor what is sacred. Because if two people meet too early, they may still feel drawn to each other, yet not know how to protect the connection. One may still be hiding behind fear. The other may still be trying to earn love instead of receive it. And what was meant to become peaceful could be painful through immaturity alone. That is why God often prepares two people apart, in silence, in ordinary days, in lonely nights, in lessons they did not ask for, but needed. He teaches one heart how to stop settling. He teaches the other how to stop running. He teaches one person patience. He teaches the other accountability. He uncovers false beliefs. He heals damaged patterns. He lets both stories move through transformation before allowing them to stand in the same light. You may not be able to see that process. You may not know where they are. You may not understand how your two stories could ever connect. But God does not need your full understanding to continue His work. He only asks for trust. He only asks that you do not call hidden preparation empty space. Because much of what becomes holy in life begins in secrecy first. You who are listening right now, maybe this is what your heart needed most. Not another dramatic promise, not another rushed answer, but a steady reminder that truth unfolds with purpose. The hidden does not stay hidden forever. The unclear does not remain unclear forever. At the right time, God allows understanding to rise. He allows patterns to reveal themselves. He allows false bonds to lose their grip. He allows your spirit to become less attached to what cannot nourish it. And in that clearing, something beautiful happens. You start desiring what is true more than what is thrilling. You start valuing peace more than intensity. You start recognizing that the love meant for you will not need to be carried by confusion. It will not require constant guessing. It will not force you to shrink, beg, or perform. It will meet you with truth. It will come with a kind of steadiness that honors all the healing God has done in you. You may have been guided here today for a reason. Maybe the reason is that your heart has been tired of almost clarity, almost commitment, almost peace, almost love. But your future is not meant to be built on almost. God has not brought you this far to leave your soul trapped in unfinished patterns. He has not walked with you through healing, growth, and deep inner change just to return you to the same kind of confusion. No, the truth is coming out. It is coming out in what no longer attracts you. It is coming out in what your spirit now rejects. It is coming out in the way your heart has become more honest about what it needs. It is coming out in the way you can now tell the difference between longing and peace. That is not a small shift. That is sacred evidence that your soul is moving closer to what is real. Dear soul, by now you may feel something changing inside you. Not pressure, not panic, not the old fear that you are running out of time. Something quieter, something steadier, a knowing that the truth about your soulmate is not outside the reach of God. It is not buried beyond his timing. It is not lost in silence. It is moving. It is unfolding. And one of the first ways it unfolds is through the peace that begins returning to your own heart. Because when God starts bringing truth to the surface, confusion slowly loses its grip. Old questions stop ruling your mind the way they once did. Old attachments stop feeling as powerful as they once were. Old patterns begin to look smaller than the lessons they left behind. That change matters. It matters because the truth about your soulmate is not only about who they are. It is also about what your soul can now see that it could not see before. You who are listening right now, think about how different your heart has become. There was a season when uncertainty could hold all of your attention. There was a season when one message, one sign, one emotional moment could keep you attached for too long. There was a season when you tried to create clarity through hope alone. But now, something in you has matured. You have learned that hope is holy, but hope must walk with truth. You have learned that desire is human, but desire without discernment can still lead to pain. You have learned that love should not have to be guessed. It should not have to be dragged into honesty. It should not have to be held together by your effort alone. God sees the quiet prayers of your heart. He sees the way disappointment changed you. He sees the way healing softened you without making you weak. He sees the way wisdom grew inside you, even when that growth came through tears. Nothing in your story is wasted. Not the heartbreak that humbled you, not the delay that strengthened you, not the silence that taught you how to hear him more clearly. Dear soul, this is where many people miss the beauty of divine preparation. They think the goal is only to arrive, only to meet, only to finally receive what they have been waiting for. But God is not careless with sacred things. He does not only plan the meeting, he prepares the meaning of the meeting. He prepares the condition of both hearts. He prepares the timing. He prepares the inner life. He prepares what each person has learned before they stand in front of each other. That is why the waiting has been deeper than you expected. It was never just empty time. It was shaping time. It was revealing time. It was the kind of season where false versions of love had to lose their power so the real thing would not be confused with them later. Sometimes love arrives after the soul has grown stronger. Strong enough to receive love without turning it into fear. Strong enough to remain open without becoming desperate. Strong enough to recognize that peace is not the absence of passion. It is the presence of safety, honesty, and rest. Stay with this message, faithful heart. The deeper truth is not only that your soulmate may be drawing nearer, it is that God has been guarding your future while teaching your heart what true love must never ask you to sacrifice. There were connections that looked promising, yet left you drained. There were moments that felt spiritual, yet produced no lasting peace. There were people who awakened longing, yet never showed the stability needed to protect what they stirred in you. That was painful. It was painful because your heart wanted meaning. It wanted to believe there was a reason for what it felt. And maybe there was a reason, but not always the reason you first imagined. Some people enter your life to expose a pattern. Some enter to reveal a wound. Some enter to show you how quickly the soul can become attached to what does not truly nourish it. Those lessons can be heavy, but they are still valuable. They are still part of the truth coming out. Because once your eyes have been opened, certain kinds of confusion no longer look romantic. Certain kinds of inconsistency no longer look deep. Certain kinds of emotional distance no longer feel mysterious. You begin to see them for what they are. And that clarity is holy. Dear soul, there is another side to this title that carries comfort. The truth about your soulmate is coming out, not only in your life, but possibly in theirs as well. While you were learning to stop accepting half love, they may have been learning how to stop offering it. While you were learning not to chase mixed signals, they may have been learning how damaging mixed signals can be. While you were becoming more rooted in peace, they may have been confronting the places in themselves that once avoided depth, honesty, or responsibility. This is why divine timing cannot be rushed. It is not random. It is careful. It is merciful. It is wise enough to know that attraction alone is not enough. Emotion alone is not enough. Even longing alone is not enough. Two lives must be brought into a place where truth can live between them. Otherwise, what could have become beautiful may collapse under the weight of old wounds. And maybe that is what God has been protecting. Not just your feelings, your future, not just your hopes, your peace. Because the love meant for you should not fight against everything God has healed in you. It should not force you back into the old version of yourself. It should not awaken the same chaos, the same fear, the same emotional confusion that nearly emptied you in earlier seasons. No. The truth about your soulmate will carry another quality. It will carry light. It will carry honesty. It will carry a steadiness that does not need constant explanation to feel real. You may have been guided here today for a reason. Maybe the reason is that your spirit needed to hear this clearly. The right love will not require you to abandon the wisdom your waiting season gave you. It will honor that wisdom. It will meet it. It will make room for it. You who are listening right now, release the fear that nothing is happening. Release the fear that silence means absence. Release the fear that delay means your story has been overlooked. God has not forgotten the quiet prayers of your heart. He has not missed a single tear. He has not ignored the way you kept believing, even after disappointment tried to make you cold. He knows the depth of your longing. He also knows the depth of your future. That is why he has been patient with your journey. That is why some things were not allowed to settle before they were true. That is why certain doors closed before you had the strength to close them yourself. That is why some answers took longer than your heart wanted. Because a rushed answer is not always a merciful answer. Sometimes, the holiest answer is the one that arrives after both souls have learned how to carry love with truth. So breathe, dear soul. Let peace return to the place where fear once lived. Let trust return to the place where overthinking once ruled. Let this truth settle gently inside you. Your journey still has meaning. Your waiting still has purpose. Your heart has not been forgotten. The love you are waiting for may appear in a way you did not expect, but it will come with a clarity that confusion never had. And when it does, you may finally understand that what felt hidden was never lost. It was being prepared. What felt delayed was never denied. It was being protected. What felt unfinished was never meaningless. It was part of the sacred path God was using to lead you toward a love that could stand in truth, remain in peace, and honor the healing that brought you there. Type Amen.